did you do that? How did you do that?
I want to create this video today just to give some of you an idea how to proceed, and once you finish sign at the gym, how you can proceed with your gym journey. I know there are some people who usually have that fear of navigate through the gym once you sign up. So today I want to take a moment to sort of guide you in a way. I mean, you don't have to do what I said, but just a little guidance, right? So I want to discuss how you can proceed in the gym for the very first time, right? Hopefully you have seen my first two videos. Part one, I sort of it was more a bit scripted. I did write a couple things of what to say, but the second part, 1B, it was more of my personal experiences. I discussed like 3 different stages of my life, how I managed to do some form of exercise. So please check them out, get some idea from them. So in this episode, like I said, I want to focus on your first experience in the gym. That is after you select a gym that is close to your house or wherever your gym location preference may be. But I will sort of suggest that being closer to your house will be the best option. So in this episode, I will exclude people or someone who has a trainer or has experience using machines or knowledgeable in anything fitness. So anybody who has any experience in the gym or who has a personal trainer, this video is not for you. This is for someone who just started, like a newbie, someone who just stepped in the gym and needs some guidance or some sort of idea. And again, you don't have to do what I said. I'm just giving you some pointers, right? So walking into a gym for the first time can be very scary. Don't feel intimidated by anything. That's one thing you have to feel confident. Remember the reason you first signed up, your purpose, why you're spending your money to be there. So there is absolutely no reason for you to be afraid. So you are there for you and no one else. So in your very first walk-in, I would suggest to not focus on doing anything fancy. If you've seen stuff on YouTube or you've seen people doing things, don't focus on that at all, especially if you don't know what to do. So don't focus on anything fancy. When you don't know what to do, just focus on I'll give you certain suggestions. So my suggestion for you, your first walk-in, should focus on a couple of things. Number one, see where some of the machines are located at. And number two, test the machines. Again, if you already have experience in working out, using the machines, this is not for you. And if you have a trainer, again, this is not for you. So, number one, see where some of the things, the machines, the equipment are located at. The idea behind this is, as you walk around the gym, keep in mind that majority of the gyms set up their machine and equipment in a way that they are related to certain muscle group in terms of body parts or muscle group. So I will try to sketch out my old gym. I will show you how they originally set it up, and I will show you my new gym right now. And I probably will have some pictures of some of those spots, because I did record myself in some of those in the gym. So I could, after I draw it, I didn't do it yet, but once I draw it, I could spot pinpoint out in relation to some videos that I have. So usually the gyms, they group the machines or equipment in certain ways, in certain body part and muscle group. Here's a model of my old gym. This is how they set up the gym. All cardio machines were against the wall, right? And upper body machines were grouped together. Free weights were against the wall. Leg machines, squat machines were together. Heavy duty machines were grouped together. So that's how they sort of set it up, and that's pretty much the main the typical way all gyms sort of arrange their facility. So my current gym right now have similar setup with more choices. A section for CrossFit type area is in a room by itself. So they put the equipment. I very rarely go there. They actually just redesign it. They change some equipment. So there's an area where it's more like a CrossFit kind of thing, where you have the room, you share with people obviously, but you are more freely to move around. If you're doing jumping and all this stuff, you could do that over there. Free weights are grouped together. Leg machine and squat machine are in an area together by itself, and upper body machines and are grouped together. And some of them could intertwine with each other due to space consuming. So there are times you might see something that may not be related to each other, but so sometimes they do that just to for space purposes. If they don't have a lot of space but they need the machine to be at the gym, so they might put it somewhere that may not relate to certain muscle group, but it's there for everybody, right? So usually all the machines, the gym will have all machines for legs in one area, upper body in one area, and they group them somewhat together. You could do your workout in only machine where you pretty much target all of your muscle group on machines only. You don't have to do some fancy stuff like you see other people doing. So some machines are good to work out in. Maybe in another video I probably will explain my first, after I've given birth and I decided to lose my pregnancy weight, I might do a video where I explain what I did once I started going back to the gym again, what I did at my old gym. So when you walk in the gym, keep in mind that they may have similar kind of setup, and you need to find where your niche is or what machine of your preferences are. Meaning that once you sign up, usually you sort of know what you want your body to do or want your body to look like. So you have a little idea of what you want to do, but you just don't know how to navigate and do the first step to get to where you want your body to be. So once you walk around the gym, you see where certain things are. Familiarize yourself with the gym, your first day, your first week in the gym. So focus on getting yourself familiar in the gym. I hope I make sense on that part. Number 2, the testing part of the machine, or using testing machine, or making sure to check the weight. What I mean by that, to testing the machine when using the machine, is that sometimes the last person who was using that particular machine was using a heavy weight, and your body never get used to lifting that heavy weight. So if you don't check and then you started pushing, whatever your mind had set that's the weight is, without looking at it, you're probably gonna shock your body, not in a good way. Meaning that if, for instance, the last person put 200 pounds on the machine and you thought it was maybe 20 pounds or something like that, and your mind and body already have a way of knowing the load, the amount, how heavy the thing might be, then when you went to push it, it's not what it is. And it could be the reverse also. It could be 20 pounds on the machine, the last person left, and you thought maybe it's a heavier weight or something. You went to do a hard push thinking it's heavy, but when in fact it's only 20 pounds, and you go, you shock the muscle in a way. So in a way, it's not good for you, for your body, and it's not good for the machine, the equipment either. You might over push it and break it, or you might under push the machine where you shock your body. So this is why I said that you should check the machine before you even do one single lift. Okay, so always start, in my opinion, let's say you check the machine and you see the load that was there. So always start with the lowest weight as possible if you're not sure what you're capable of lifting, right? So you can always increase the load as, once, let's say you start with a 20 pound, you see that it's too light, you could always increase it. Stop and then increase the weight. It's better to do that than to start heavy, especially when you never lift or haven't lifted for a very long time. So if you need help also with anything in the gym, don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask the trainers, ask anybody who works in the gym. The staff will be more than happy to help you. So don't be afraid to go and ask for help. So when it comes to asking other members questions in the gym, here are my concern. Don't get me wrong, many of them will help you, and I will explain something that happened to me recently. And I've been going to the gym quite some time, but things do happen. I don't know where my mind was, but I'll get back to that in a few. So my concern when it comes to asking other gym members questions, number one, do not stop any of the members in the middle of their lifts. You have to wait until they completely finish their sets, their rep, whatever it is that they were doing. Wait until they're resting, then go to them and ask them for help. The reason is that you don't want to startle them at mid lift or at mid set. Wait until they are resting, once they caught their breath, and to ask them for help. The reason is that when a person is lifting, they usually in the zone. Their mind were already set. They're gonna do certain amount of sets and rep, and their body is already prepared to lift that particular load, but they never had that thought of someone stopping them in the middle of their lift. What can happen is that you could startle them and then they drop the weight on themselves. So that could cause very major injury. So do not, I repeat, do not. I don't know if any other YouTubers have mentioned that on their videos. Never stop any lifters in the middle of their reps or sets. Very dangerous, very dangerous. However, it is okay to ask them. Let's say they walk into the cooler or they're just wandering around there on their phone. That's a different story. You could ask them for help, and majority of the time they are more than happy to help, especially those who are there all the time. They want to feel like they know everything. But most likely they will help you. And another thing is that most of the machines, not the free weights, not the barbells or dumbbells, not these machines that have instruction. Most of the machines have instruction on how to use and perform the intended movement for that specific machine. So what I suggest you do, if you never use the machine, you can take a moment. Take a moment to look and read the instruction on the machine. They have pictures, they have writings on them, step by step on how to use the machine. So take that moment and read it, and don't feel shy whatsoever to do this, because you're doing it for you. You don't want to look like a fool doing something stupid on the machine. Okay? Two things is that it's better to be safe than sorry, right? Did I say story or sorry? It's better to be safe than sorry. And it's better to do the movement the right way rather than looking like a fool doing something stupid. So take your time, read the instruction, look at the pictures, see how they perform the particular machine. I believe I have a video, very old video. See, I'm still going back to some of the videos that I've put because I have people asking me those questions, and now look at me, a couple of years later, I'm still referring to them. I have a video where at my old gym I was recording, nobody was there, but I was recording, showing the machines around the gym because I had people asking me questions, and I felt like, you know, the machines are there, they have instructions, just look at them. So I went around the gym recording, and I put a little music in the back and stuff like that. I think at the beginning I sort of explained what I'm saying right now, and then I went around the gym showing the machine. So as you get yourself familiar with the machine in the gym, focus on yourself only. Don't worry about anyone around you or what people might be thinking or anything like that. Just do your thing. You there for you. They're not paying your gym membership. You are. So focus on yourself. Do as much as you can once you're at the gym. So you just started getting yourself into a habit of going into the gym. And do your own thing. Like I said, don't worry what others are doing, and don't worry what others are thinking of you. All right, just be mindful of yourself, and just be safe with others too. Although you're there for yourself, but at the same time, every time I think of something, there's always another side to it. You don't want to be, that's more for the free weights, you don't want to be dropping weights left and right, not really concern of other members around you where you might drop the weight on somebody's foot or something like that. That's not it. That's not the thing that I'm thinking of. I'm thinking more of the aspect of you not feeling comfortable to do what you want to do, or rather feeling uncomfortable of doing something that will benefit you, right? You there for you. You pay your money to be there, to use the machine. Do your best to do whatever you can. If you cannot afford a trainer, right? So you use the machine to your best of your ability, whatever the instruction on the machine says. So keep in mind, every single person in the gym has their own goal. So a young person, for instance, may focus on building up his strength or preparing for a show or something like that. Another person may just came from an injury and he is trying to work on his mobility or therapy kind of thing, which happened to me after my sciatica. I had called the gym to freeze my membership because I didn't know how long it's gonna take me to walk normal, and I didn't want to waste precious months sitting home, and then months is passing by and I cannot go to the gym. So I called the gym to freeze my membership. Then once I find myself walking very slowly, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna unfreeze the membership and go and do some stuff. And a couple of my videos I've mentioned, after my sciatica thing, for some reason my body felt like it wanted to push. My leg wanted to push stuff. And so I went to the gym. I did what I needed to do. I used the leg press, just push. My body felt like it needed it, so I did it. And it helped. When you go to the gym a lot, there are certain things that your body will be feeling is because you got yourself to you train your body, your muscles is used to doing this kind of movement. When it hasn't been doing it, there's certain feeling. I don't know if that ever happened to anybody, but I felt that, especially after my sciatica. My body felt certain things and it needed to be done. I feel uncomfortable if I didn't do it. So I went to the gym and did it little at a time. I did not start right away where I left off prior to my sciatica thing. As a matter of fact, before I had my sciatica, the week prior, I had asked a trainer how to use the TRX thing so how to adjust it. So the following week, it was my goal to start some new training with the TRX. And comes Monday and I ended up with the sciatica, and then I couldn't go to the gym. So that sort of stopped. I wanted to increase or improve on my mobility by using the TRX. I had things in mind I wanted to do, but the sciatica thing put me way back again. I had to retrain myself. I had to start from basic with some leg exercises to increase my mobility, my strength, and all this stuff. And I'm still working on my strength. So that TRX thing, I haven't done it since then, because I am the sciatic thing, like I said, took me back. So, you know, I can't continue improving on where I left off before, because my strength had been reduced. So I need to rebuild it again. So once I feel like I'm able to do those things again, then I will do it. So this is why in some other videos I go to the basic. There's progression. You cannot start somewhere where you see someone who have been doing it for years when you never done it before. You just step in the gym, you see people lifting, you know, a couple 100 pounds of dumbbells and stuff. All of a sudden you want to do it. You have to train your body from basics and increase it little at a time in terms of progression. Get your body used to it. So that's what I did after my sciatica. I went back to basic and improve a little bit at a time. Once I see that my strength has passed a certain goal or certain strength test that I set for myself, then I increase it to something else. Like for instance, I always talk about me doing the 40-pound dumbbell. Many times my body is not into it, but I've lifted before. And when I stop doing it, my muscles is not used to it anymore. I have to go back to the lower level and then build it back up again. So that's a term of progression. So I've talked about it in many of my videos. They may not make sense at the time I'm talking about it, but now there's a reason for that. It's in terms of progression. You don't want to do things to injure yourself. In one of my videos, I believe I spoke about the gym is there to help you how did I put it? It's like in a way to help you be better yourself, and at the same time it will injure you and possibly kill you if you're not doing it in the right way. So that's a bit too much on this, so let me go back to my bullet point. So okay, another example I have here is a couple of years ago, after having my second child, my husband pressured me to do the 5 Boro bike tour. So I don't know if some of you know about it. In New York, they have, I think every May or something, they have a 5 Boro bike tour. They start in Manhattan, they go to the Bronx, Staten Island, Brooklyn, you know, they go around the 5 Boro and they end up at Staten Island. They close off all the street and just bikers riding and family, kids. You have the street all to yourself. So my husband loves to do it. So before I had kids, I did it easily. Then after I had my second child, I had a hard time. So I wasn't mentally ready to do it, but my husband signed me up. I told him I wasn't ready, but he went and signed me up anyway. So when I saw he signed me up, and I was like, oh man, I don't want that money to waste. So I pushed myself to do it. I knew I wasn't ready, and I wasn't ready. I pretty much walked the entire 5 Boro. I took long rests. Who went with us? It was him, his friend, his cousin went. My husband left me behind. So he continued, but he waited at a certain pit stop for us and stuff like that. But his cousin was the one who pretty much stood by me, because I couldn't do it. I had just given birth about maybe, the most I would say maybe 8 months ago, prior to that 5 Boro tour. So my body wasn't ready for it. So what I did is that I wasn't ashamed of myself. I knew I wasn't ready, but I used that as a motivation for me, that once the following year came, we were gonna do it again. I think 5 months leading to the 5 Boro ride, we had discussed it and we said we're gonna do it. And now I was at the gym. I was going to my old gym. I trained myself for that. I was doing biking, I was doing rowing, I wanted to build my cardio up, and I was running on the treadmill. All of that I was doing at the gym, and you know, and also doing some strength training too. But my main focus each time, that 5 month frame, leading up to the 5-borough ride, I trained myself to build my cardio, my endurance up, and things like that. So once the 5-borough ride tour came, I was ready. It was completely different aspect from the year prior. So, you know, what's the point of saying that? It's just that you build up strength, okay, progression. And you know, I hope I make sense. All right, so I will do some kind of so everyone in the gym has their own goal. Don't be intimidated by anyone. And by the way, I did a much better 5-borough tour that year than the year prior, like I said. You could check my family channel, or I'll put a link on the description of some of those bike tours that we did, so you could see. I think in some of them, either I had put a camera in front of the bike, and my husband had my youngest son in the back. So I record some of them. I think I have one in my family channel or something. So that's why you have to focus on you when you're at the gym. Know what you want and work towards it. All right, so always have a goal and work towards it. So like I said, this is for people who hasn't have an idea of how to use certain things, but you have an idea once you sign up at the gym why you sign up. So that's the goal, is to be to bring your body to certain phase, so you work towards it. So my third one, which I didn't mention at the beginning, one last thing I want to bring is that before you start moving any equipment, find a comfortable spot in the gym for you to stretch or warm up. Especially if you feel uncomfortable being there, or you feel uncomfortable about your body. People do have those kind of thought, right? So you find a comfortable spot at the gym to stretch before you start lifting any moving any equipment in the gym. You can also find if you don't want to do any kind of stretching, since you're gonna be doing some minor stuff at the beginning, you could, as a warm-up, you could use a treadmill or do some rowing at, you know, reasonable pace. You don't need to go crazy. You just want to build your cardio, just want to warm up your body before you just go straight into doing something crazy. You go enough, in other words, go enough at a pace with this machine, the rowing or biking or treadmill, for your heart rate at a moderate level. Once you do that, then you can start using the machines and do, you know, test out the machines and walk around and do some stuff. So in the next episode, I will discuss what I did the first 5 or 6 months post-pregnancy when I signed up at the gym. So that's when I decided to lose my pregnancy weight. So I will discuss what I did that first time. And I want to share it with you, and hopefully you could benefit from it. So yeah, that's it. I hope I make sense, and I hope some of these ideas help you. And the main thing is focus on you. Don't be intimidated by any, you know, read the machines and look at the pictures and see how you can use it and to benefit you. Again, you went there for you, no one else. So I hope my tips help. I hope I make sense. I usually have a hard time explaining stuff, so I hope I make sense. And I have people constantly asking me questions, and this is why I have the YouTube channel. Is not to be fancy, is not to be anything other than to share my experiences. And again, I have to say, this is very important. As of now, as of 2019, I am not a professional in the medical field or personal trainer. I'm just giving you my experience. That's why I feel comfortable sharing it with you. This is my experience, okay? So I feel comfortable sharing it with you. It is up to you to decide what's best for you. I'm not telling you to go do it. I'm giving you an idea how you can maneuver yourself around the gym, and then and move on and reach your goal. And the reason, maybe that could be another video, because if you look at my I think my gym ordeal kind of episode, where my old gym, I had to call them to court, and they were, you know, trying to threaten me and stuff like that. The thing is that once you know what you're doing, no one can really intimidate you of doing something that you know you're not doing. So when people are asking me questions, they see how I was before and how I am now, but they don't know the hard work behind it. I had to work really hard to get my body where it is. So when they see me like that, they want to know, I guess, what's my secret. There's no secret. It's just hard work behind it. And occasionally I have difficulty myself to do some of them, but I keep on pushing it because I'm getting older. I'm not getting younger. I have to stay healthy for my kids. So I share this stuff with you, and hopefully it benefits you in some ways or another. So again, I know I did mention the gym ordeal. I don't want to go back to that. It's just that I know I wasn't, yeah, I'll put that in another video. So for now, this is it. Thank you for watching, and I'm gonna make another video while I have the time to do my experience at the gym.